made it to another Friday. End of the week / mentally preparing for the beginning of another week. That's one of the reasons why I like to have meetings on Friday. A lot of businesses, they like to have meetings on the first couple days of the week, which is understandable because they try to rah-rah, charge the people up so they're excited to carry them through the week. But sometimes people need to boost after the work week, or sort of toward the middle and then toward the end. But I'll tell you we're going to talk about fear a little bit this morning. Talk about fear on all planes. So the one thing I talk about a lot of times, and I find myself talking about this outside of here too a lot. I found myself talking about this yesterday. It always comes up. And people are afraid of a lot of things. And you just start noticing it the more you start talking to people. It's something that it's always, oh, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. Oh God, I hope this doesn't happen. Oh, if I do this, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope such and such is there. It's always like a fear in a conversation. You ever notice that? When you talk to people and they say something like, oh, I hope the kids are okay, or I hope they're in the house, or I hope my mom is okay, I hope my dad, I hope this person don't call me today, or you know what I mean? It's a fear. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like when you ride around Williamsburg, I talk about all the help wanted signs or, now hiring signs. People talk as if they don't need things, but then they go ask for it. They may have good people working for them right then and they mistreat them. And then they got to put a, now hiring sign out instead of just taking care of who was doing good. Because that's why it's like musical chairs. People go from one place to another place to another place. The only thing fear of change prevents is escape from misery, sorrow, and poverty. I'm only talking about this because it pertains to business, but it also pertains to life itself, right? Learn to embrace change, to change your circumstances. Change is where a lot of fear comes from. People are not used to something, People are afraid of how people will see them. So they stay in what they know people can accept. And a lot of times people accept things that are not good anyway, right? So what I want to do is I want you to start trying to just embrace change. Just embrace change. Do something out of character. I'm not saying do something bad out of character. I'm just saying do something, that's totally against what you normally do. If you see somebody, you say, I'm going to talk to that person. I'm going to say hello. The next person that walks through the door, I'm going to attempt to make a friendship with them. Or I'm going to hand them a flyer. Or I'm going to do just something, right? Now, of course, if the next person comes through the door look like an escaped convict, maybe you say, no, I'll wait till the next person comes through, right? That might not be the one you want to start with, right? But the reason I say that is because it starts to get your mind to accept something different. Like I always tell people when I'm talking about how people relate to groups. If they walk into a new room or walk into a room that they're not used to, they stay to themselves or they just stay to who they know, right? So you walk into a room, you don't know anybody and the chair's right there, but a friend of yours is back there or somebody that you associate with is in the back. Won't you walk past that first chair and go back and sit with the person that you really know instead of sit beside somebody you don't know where you can actually make a new relationship? Hey, how you doing? You know why people do that? Because to them it's not natural. It's natural to know the person down there. If I know Mark, I can sit down there and we can talk and laugh. But the truth of the matter is I might set myself up for a loss and for failure. You know why? Because I go back there with somebody that I actually know, I might not pay attention to the speaker or to whatever we're talking about. Because we're going to talk. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, good. Right? But if I sit next to somebody I don't know, most likely the first thing I'm going to say is, hey, how you doing? Good. Ooh, traffic. Something out there. Okay. Let's see what they got going on here. Now, I don't know her, so I'm thinking to myself, she might really be focusing on this person. I might watch her and she got her pen ready and she's looking at the person. Naturally, what do you think I'm going to do when I see that? I'm going to do the same. But we're creatures of habit. And we're also two types. One of the two types. We're either a leader or we're a follower. I know I tell you guys sometimes there's three types of people in the world, and there is, but the true mannerisms of the mind is one or the other. Leader, follower. She just led me by being right there ready to talk, and now I'm ready to talk because she's ready to talk. Well, I'm at least ready to listen because I saw her. Now I know she's like paying attention. One thing you learn is if you move money out of the equation, somehow remove money out of the equation, you truly find that people will do things on their own. Now some won't. Either way, problem solved, isn't it? Because you got some people that'll just naturally do something without you having to tell them. That's a passionate person about that. Then you got the other person that you may have to stand over and keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Now they weeded themselves out. In business, it's the same. You know, life is the same. You got some people, boom, boom, let's go do this. Let's go have some fun. Let's do this. That's great. You know who that person is. You know that person you can joke with, play with. And then you know that person that you might need to get real, boom, straight to the point. This is what I need, blah, 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 blah. They still like you, you still like them, but you're probably not going to tell a lot of jokes with them. Right? Doesn't mean they don't like you, it just means the chemistry of that is not there. Right? You need everything. You need a balance to balance the world out. Right? So let me tell you the story about this, and I'll tell you why I talk about this. You expend the same amount of effort, the same amount of energy, positive and negative. Same amount of energy. But which one should you put your energy into? Positive. But you know why being positive seems to be such a rarity? When you see somebody pull a chair out for someone, you go, oh God, that's so sweet, oh my God. You see somebody open the door, oh, you see somebody back here like this, somebody open the door, and the first thing the other person back here do is what? They're walking, they hold the door. You almost say, don't hold the door for me, don't you? Because you feel compelled to do this. Know what I do when I open the door? Oh, slow it down, come on. I do this at the Y all the time. I'll stay there like the daggone doorman, don't I? Come on. Oh, thank you so much. Like that. Somebody's coming, come on. I'm going in there to work out. I ain't missing nothing. Don't wait till you running from me. They ain't running from me. And sometimes you say, oh God, okay, this person's halfway through the parking lot. No. Right? You figure, because at some point you gotta let the door go, don't you?
Yes.
Don't you do it? Tell me if I'm the only one that does that. No. Yeah, they're like, nobody just thank you. Oh my God, thank you. But I told you, everything that we are, someone taught us to be this. If we just came out of the womb and depended on just natural skill, none of us would make it past 1. We wouldn't even make it to 1. I'm just being honest with you. Because you wouldn't be able to take care of yourself. You're not like a deer that as soon as you come out of the womb, about 10 minutes later, you're off and running. Huh? You ain't gonna do that. Now, the natural thing about life is whatever you give out, generally you're gonna get back. So when you walk and look at somebody and you look at them and smile, see, naturally you wanna smile back. If you're miserable when you wake up in the morning and you can't change yourself, you're gonna be miserable when you go to bed that night. Just know that. I look at people, they carry the same problem with them all day long. How do you do that? Day after day after day after day. Focus. And if you focus more on what you want, you'll focus less on being afraid of something. Like-minded people think alike. Whether they're in the room with each other or they've never met. As I've never met them. Les Brown, he said to me in 2001, I did meet him. He said I was the most dynamic young speaker he had ever seen. One day, you will be just on these stages the same way as I am. If you don't stop. You know what he was talking about? He was talking about my enthusiasm. He was talking about the way I jump around and how naturally I forgot that there were cameras on me at times. Because I was so focused on the families and the people that I was talking to that I was no longer afraid. But remember, remember what I told you. It doesn't matter when you were born. You have lived through all 4 seasons. So you can change who you are. You can change how you feel. But only you can change that. Make yourself better. Make yourself great. If you're already good, make yourself great. If you're already great, make yourself greater. Because the day you settle, the day you say, I made it, you begin to fail. That moment, you're going to start to fail. Sometimes people say, be content with who you are. No. No. Always strive. It's not in the destination. It's in the journey. That's where the fun is. You ever notice when you're working for something to get it done and make it right? Once you finished it, you got a sense of appreciation first. Mm-hmm. You look at it and say, oh my God, look at it, it's so beautiful. And all of a sudden you say, I gotta find something else to do. Because if you don't, you'll start becoming depressed, won't you? Whatever it is you enjoy is over now. You've done it. You've gone through the journey. There's nothing left. You got the trophy now. Okay, wow. But all the thrill and the memories was in what? In the doing. It's just the way you look at it. Your outlook is what dictates what you get. Your outlook dictates your outcome. Your outlook dictates your outcome. How you look at the world is how the world is going to treat you. You look at it as a prison, it's going to treat you like a prisoner. Makes sense though, don't it? You look at it as your kingdom, it's going to treat you like a queen or a king. It's the outlook. Things don't have to be wrong, y'all. Even though they are, they don't have to be where everybody can tell something's wrong with you. Right? Because now you're looking for pity. If you walk into a room and nobody knows you, and you go like this, you might as well be saying, please, somebody ask me what's wrong with me. Please, I can tell you, right? But if you walk in like this, what's up, girl? What you doing? What's up? How you doing? You don't know that my best friend's dad is passing away, do you? You don't know I got, my dog died. I can make a blues song. Right? I got the blues. Right? I'm too busy jumping around like, what? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Where we gonna go? Who we gonna show? You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. Right? It is what it is. Somebody's enjoying life and somebody's just existing. If you're just existing, you can't be enjoying your life. I tell people all the time, let's talk about, certain situations. Life is life. You got life, you live, you're born, you live, hopefully well, wrong, and then you leave here because we're just passing through. When I was younger, I didn't understand that, and I don't want to understand that because I want us to be here forever. I want to be young forever. I want to be strong forever. My dad used to say to me all the time, if I couldn't do the things that I can do now, then I don't want to be here anymore. As a child, when I heard that, I don't understand it, I don't want to hear it. Because everything is beautiful for me, I'm a child. As you get older, you start getting little aches and pains, and things hurt, and people hurt you, and you're in the world now. You're shielded from that when you have good parents. Even if it's only one that's there with you, you still can be shielded by both, as I was, right? But then when you start getting ushered into the world as a grown-up, and they're not there to protect you, you get to see what the real world is, and it doesn't care about us. But that has to be fine, because you have to be caring about you, right? Remember I told you, your outlook is what you're going to get back. If you know somebody doesn't care about you and they don't mean anything to you, do you have to care that they don't care nothing about you? Somebody walk in and say, I ain't talking to Ebony today. And that person that said that don't mean nothing to Ebony, don't do nothing for her, don't bring nothing to you. Do you care that they don't talk to you? No. How dare you? How dare you let a stranger dictate your attitude? And when I say stranger, y'all, I'm not just talking about somebody who doesn't know your name, know anything about you. I mean a stranger to your spirit. Stranger to your spirit could be somebody you grew up with all your life, but they're still a stranger to you. Because they're trying to dictate to you their misery, transfer it to you, and bring you in, right? Now, the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and they say, well, you know what? This is hard. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. If you worry more about what hasn't happened instead of what you are accomplishing, guess what we know at the end of the year? We know you're not going to hit your goals, right? If you haven't hit the early goal, you haven't hit any of them, what are the chances that you'll hit your long-term goal at the end of the year? Right. You got a better chance, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you got a better chance of hitting the lottery twice, right, than hitting a goal to free you anyway. I'll tell somebody, it's like, did you see how big the lottery is? I say, yeah, I did. You know, every time you turn on the computer, it talks about the family that won that 300 and something, was it million or billion? A million, right? Million. And they shared some of it with people that they work with. It was nice. It was nice. They didn't tell you the number, but does it matter? They could have given everybody $100. They still shared it, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Right? Somebody might, you know what somebody say? Cheyenne, I won 388 million. I gave you $100. Guess what somebody, maybe you, but guess what somebody would say in the room?
That's all.
That's all. But what did she have before the day before I met her?
Nothing.
See? So instead of being grateful that she got $100 and maybe a couple of gas, she can get her gas, she can get her something to eat. Maybe $100, but she only needed 50, and now she got double that. Instead of looking at it that way, you say, that's all? You could have gave us more than that, but maybe I gave everybody in the building $100. Maybe I gave 100 people $100. How much is that now? That's 10,000, isn't it? So that's my point with people. And I talk about this more. My family sees it, and some of you guys are new to me with some of this stuff. But people ask me for money like I'd ask you for a piece of gum. And when they ask me for money, they don't ask me for $100 or $10 or $50. They ask me for $500 and up. As if it's nothing to me. You know why? Because that's how they think. She has no problems. The world is on my back. She has no problems. How dare me? I don't know what's going on in her life. But because she's a go-getter, I'm like, oh, she's smiling. I'm going to ask her for some money. But what you don't realize is you are one of 50 people that asked me the same day for $500. It's funny though, but you notice how, and even today it's the same, right? It's not about money, guys. It's about building something. That's the fun. The fun is not the money. The fun is what you're doing. The money is going to come behind it, right?